Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the marketplace. Ahead this afternoon, we are live at the Tema Port to monitor the situation there. Day one after the implementation of the new port management system was fraught with challenges. Also coming up, poultry farmers have met today to decide what to do next about the 1 million eggs laying waste at farm gates. We'll have the latest. And we speak to the Ghana Tourism Federation on the easing of some restrictions on public gatherings. How much will change? We'll find out. My name is Darryl Carl. Thanks for being with us. We've got the details right after this break. Welcome back, everybody. Now, freight forwarders say they expect improvement after challenges with clearing of goods at the ports. The Ghana Revenue Authority has promised to quickly resolve challenges after several importers failed to clear their goods on Monday as the new customs management system for trade facilitation took effect at the Tema Port. Take a look at the frustration there yesterday.
When you go to the grounds, it is not working. People are sitting in their offices. Just don't know what they are doing. Do you understand? So whatever he came to sell, to tell us, or whatever he's saying, it's just a mere rhetoric.
Day one of the implementation of the new customs management system was fraught with challenges, and the GRA is promising to fix them. Have they been able to do so? Let's join Bella Avel, who is our reporter there on the ground, to find out the latest. Bella, what can you report?
So, unlike yesterday when we got here at the port, some clearing agents and freight forwarders were complaining about the slow running of the system, especially transitioning from GCNet and West Blue to Icons. Today at the port, we realized some of the freight forwarders and agents here are still stranded. Others are saying transactions are moving on. Transactions are moving. But for others, transactions are moving, but at a slow pace.
And Bella, how do you explain the fact that some are stranded and some others seem to have things going on well for them? What is the reason behind that?
Because for others, entries are going on well for them. But with others, they feel entries are slow. But we have Mr. Edward Jima here, an industry player at the port, to speak to. Sir, what would you have to say for us?
Okay, yesterday when we got here, when we came to work, nothing was going on successfully because the system was not working at all. If you open, it doesn't open. But today, when we came to work, the system is working. In the morning, it was working normal, but when it got to at the latter part of the day, it gets choked. I can say that maybe because everybody is trying to put on his or his BOE on the system, so it has made the system choke. So the system is not working as we are expecting. So we are trying our best, but it seems it's not happening like the way we want it.
Okay, so with the exception of yesterday where both Trade Minister and Colonel Kojo Damoa retired, Customs Commissioner assured that measures are being taken to ensure that appropriate solution will be taken. We are yet to approach authorities around this morning to see, to have any response from them again.
Okay, Bella, try and get us that response from the authorities. We'll certainly come back to you for the latest. Thank you so much. You had there Bella Ave, who is a reporter on the ground there monitoring the situation at the Tema Port, where we understand that there's some mix. Some people are able to carry out transactions. Some others have not been able to. Apparently, the system is choked. We'll have the latest from there as we keep monitoring subsequently. As the global economy heads into a recession as a result of COVID-19, one grave concern for millions of households has been the impact this would have on food security, especially in Ghana and across Africa. The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, has been proffering answers to the issue, calling on government to build resilience. Charles Aite has more in this report.
What we can do is to prepare ourselves to build resilient systems.
Aboagye-Wiafe is the Food and Agriculture Organization's regional representative for Africa. He is warning Ghana and the rest of Africa of a blackout in food security if governments do not build the needed structures to ensure food supply chains are not disrupted by the effects of the coronavirus.
When we're talking about resilience, it's not just a conceptual matter. It's really about making our systems, whether it is production system or livelihood system or even economy-wide systems, to be able to absorb the shocks, able to recover from the shocks, whether it is investment.
Already, there has been a national debate over the cost of foodstuff at various market centers amid the coronavirus pandemic.
Everything is expensive now, everything. Even plantain. Plantain 3 is 20 Ghana. If you have the big ones, small big ones, 20 Ghana. It's too expensive.
First, we could go to Accra with 600 cedis, but now we go with maybe 1,200 or 1,300 to buy the same things we used to buy at the first.
Usually, if I have to spend like maybe 100 cedis for a month foodstuff, now I'm spending like 150 or 200 cedis, and it's a problem. Yeah, especially at this part of the market. The prices are too high.
But the Agric Minister Owusu Akoto insists food security and prices in Ghana are the best.
Only 4 years ago, a bunch of plantain in Accra, you have to spend 40 Ghana cedis. Now 3, 4 cedis. And I repeat, 3, 4, 5 cedis, you can get a bunch of plantain. It shows you clearly that we have come and reduced prices of food, even in the major cities like Accra, where because of the substantial reduction in prices in the markets.
I think it's very much important.
On a virtual interaction via Zoom, I asked Aboagye-Wiafe of the Food and Agriculture Organization's direction for the government of Ghana and Africa as a whole in times as this.
The solution to a food price inflationary pressure ensure sustained food supply, and FAO is supporting the efforts to ensure sustained production, trade, food safety, and nutrition. So yes, not only that the FAO is concerned, but we are doing a lot supporting the efforts of countries and partners so that this can be mitigated.
Of the 135 million people globally who are estimated to be experiencing crisis levels of acute food insecurity, more than half live in Africa. According to recent FAO analysis, in the absence of timely and effective policies, millions more people around the world are likely to join the ranks of the hungry as the result of the COVID-19 triggered recession. Across various market centers here in the Greater Accra region, food is abundant, but one main concern has been the prices of most of these products. Consumers are very concerned. They're saying that amidst COVID-19, the cost of food prices could really have a toll on not just their spending patterns, but as well the livelihoods of the various friends and families who earn little to nothing in these times.
All right, so Charles Aite bringing us that report on food security amid the COVID-19 pandemic. But we have a situation at hand that has also got to do with food, and that is the eggs that are going waste at farm gates. We have been reporting about this, and the farmers have been meeting today. Odilia Ntiamwa has been following that meeting. She was there. She joins me in studio with more from there, Odilia. So, I mean, the farmers are worried, I know. What are they saying now?
They're actually asking that government really steps into the situation. They're asking that associations, individuals help to pick some of these eggs, because just imagine that just about a week or 2 weeks ago, they had about 500,000. Wow. Now, they don't actually have these chickens actually pausing the laying of eggs because there's a glut. So it's going to continue.
And
now
I
it's
hear
actually
close to 1 million.
Wow. Exactly. And so they are looking at really government supporting quickly. Remember that we only have 2 manufacturing companies. Actually, they all do very small scale. One company does just about 100 crates of eggs in a day. And so if you're saying that manufacturing companies should pick them and process them into powder, it's not the best alternative as of now, because you're looking at getting now close to about 1 million eggs sitting at the farm gates. The farmers are saying that, well, so they're also reducing the cost to make sure that people quickly pick them up. Remember that if you buy a crate of egg in Accra, it goes for about close to 20 cedis. Now, at the farm gates, they're doing 13 cedis. And so if you're thinking of increasing the nutrition for children in your school or people in various communities, helping them out, you can actually get in touch with these farmers and help them to be able to get rid of the eggs.
Does that mean that there are no other opportunities for processing?
Yes.
Looking at the quantity that we have lined up.
So right now, remember that the eggs have a shelf life of between 3 weeks and a month, depending on how you store it. And so if you're actually thinking of processing, it takes about close to a year to set a proper processing factory. So that's really not an alternative. Right now, the biggest alternative is to get government support, is to also to get individuals to pick them up. And if people really have money and they want to support people to boost their immune system, then they could also buy these eggs off the farmers.
Okay, so finally, what specifically do they want government to do now?
Okay, so they want government, for example, like the school feeding program. Now that students are going back to school, especially the final years, they want government to be able to pick some of these eggs up. There are quite a number of nutritional issues. Also, the health workers that are working, this could serve as like a good motivation for them. They are also seeing that there are a lot of institutions which may not necessarily be hit by the COVID, but also want to support other people. They should actually come and buy these eggs off them.
Okay, thank you very much, Odilia and Tiama. We'll keep following the story. We will find out what can be done to save the eggs and the farmers who are obviously distressed at this point. You're watching The Marketplace. Now, government is working to deploy technology to help track compliance with partial easing of public gatherings. An application is to be deployed by the Communications Ministry to help with registration of all persons that attend events and also help in contact tracing in case of a COVID-19 outbreak. Communications Minister Esther Owusu-Kufuor has been giving us more details about this initiative.
We have developed an app which would help us monitor, help us stay compliant with all of these. It's called the PANA BIOS app. It's a short form of Pan-African Biosecurity, Biosurveillance app. And we're trialing out Ghana and hopefully to be rolled out in the rest of the continent, since we're working in unison with the African Union and a group known as the Afro Champions, a group of African corporate giants. Let me just put it that way. This application would also be available by a link to the COVID-19 tracker app, which we have already launched and which is already in use. Now, briefly speaking, event organizers would have to download the application and register the event and the venue that the event is taking place. For events which multiple for venues which hold multiple events, they can even number it, event number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So people can also download this app and pre-book that I want to attend event 3 or at such and such a time. Now, if the first event is oversubscribed, they automatically will move you to the next one and send you a notification that you're attending the second or third service on this third Sunday of the month.
All right. So business operators in the hospitality industry say the partial lifting of restrictions on the operations is not enough to turn around their fortunes. Now, President Akufo-Addo, as part of a roadmap to ease the restrictions, announced that restaurants could offer seated services, but with social distancing protocols. We want to delve into that and the impact on the tourism industry generally. Joining me in studio is Executive Secretary of the Ghana Tourism Federation, Emmanuel Frimpong. We are going to have a conversation on the easing of restrictions. Great to have you in studio, Mr. Frimpong. So first of all, just help our viewers appreciate what the impact of COVID-19 has been on the tourism industry.
Okay, so if you look at the tourism and hospitality industry, we are looking at the hotels, we are looking at tour operators, tour guides, chefs, traditional caterers, basically the informal sectors. And if you look at the value chain, now when countries started closing their borders and airports, of course, people could not travel. And most of our hotels in Ghana rely mostly on business conferences and things like that. So if people are not coming in, if people are not coming in, then obviously there's no business for hotels. And if hotels don't have business, car rentals also would not have business. And car rentals also rely mainly on people having weddings, people having these programs that they will hire cars. And if you also look at the tour operators who also rely mostly on people coming from outside, now, then it becomes extremely difficult for us to have business because people are not coming in, people are not going out. So nobody is doing business with the hotels and tourism industry. And that is really affecting us.
And I guess it was a big disappointment for you, especially as 2019 was one of those years you'd always remember, right? Because of the year of return. And then all of a sudden, COVID-19 comes in, sets in, and then everything changes. But now we've seen that the president has eased some restrictions, although the borders remain closed. But at least you can visit places in Ghana, have a meal, have some fun, albeit under social distancing protocols. How do you expect things to pick up?
Well, it's still going to take a while before things pick up because you mentioned the year of return. It was quite good for us. And we're looking at Beyond the Return, which was launched in January by the president. So most of our members were looking at doing some renovations, investment here and there, so that we'll pick up from there. And then COVID came. So we were hoping that we'll have a lot more easing for us, especially with the bar operators who are still closed. They can't open because the president did not open that session for them.
Right.
So yes, we are grateful for the easing, but we thought it would have been a little more far-reaching to other members of our association.
One of the things you're looking forward to was Beyond the Return.
Yes.
Obviously, that wouldn't be something that would come on this year, looking at the restrictions that we have right now. But domestically, what are the strategies to push our tourism sector? We have some limited restrictions, but we can do something, right? So what are you planning to do? Do you have any strategy in place?
Yes. I think about 4 weeks ago, we had a joint committee between Ghana Tourism Federation and Ghana Tourism Authority to put a committee together to look at the impact of COVID-19. One of the things that we discussed extensively was the fact that we need to promote domestic tourism, which when we met President Nana Akufo-Addo, we also reiterated that if he could focus on helping us to promote domestic tourism, as in getting Ghanaians to appreciate domestic tourism, and then we will take it up and work on it, because we realize that it is going to take a while before the industry picks up. A lot of people will not begin to come in, even if the airports, the borders are opened up. So we think that we should look at domestic tourism, and we are engaging GTA to look at the best way that we can do it. There's a video that they've come out with. It's not really extensive one. We are working with GTA to look at, now that the schools are gradually being also eased up, what is it that we can do using the youth to promote domestic tourism? So there's something on the table that we are working on with GTA.
Do you feel that players in your industry are prepared to deal with the new changes, especially social distancing? I'm going to show you a poll that we ran yesterday after the president, eased certain restrictions on restaurants. So we asked, would you still sit and eat in a restaurant under strict social distancing protocols during this era of the COVID-19 pandemic? And 5,400 votes there you see on your screen. 60% say no, they aren't prepared to go out, sit and eat in a restaurant. How do you anticipate things will pick up, seeing that people are still not comfortable with going out, sitting at places to eat, drink, have some fun?
I think as an industry, we haven't done much as far as education is concerned. So people are still scared. They are not really ready to go out. And I think we need to increase some education, let people know that, yes, you can still go out and enjoy yourself. We are going to put out all the protocols, all the necessary measures in place so that you don't get out and get COVID-19.
Okay. And just in a minute, I want to talk about the financials of people in your sector, because we spoke to some restaurant operators who said, I mean, this easing of restriction is not going to do much. It's actually going to add extra cost for them. So they'd rather sit home and think of other strategies to make money than, run their restaurants, for instance. How do you expect them to come out of this pressure on them financially?
I think they are right to say that, because if you look at a hotel that has a capacity of, let's say, 500 or 800, and then you are asked to come and accept 100 people, don't forget you are going to incur almost the same cost if 500 people were coming. So if you look at it,
doesn't make financial sense.
Yes, it doesn't make financial sense to open up.
But I guess that they are seeking something from the stimulus package as well. Hopefully they may get something.
If you look at the amount, it was 600. Now it is 1 billion. If you look at the hotels alone, and this amount, don't forget, it is not just for tourism industry.
Okay.
It is for the whole country. So the amount is really not enough.
Thank you so much, Executive Secretary of the Ghana Tourism Federation, Emmanuel Frimpong, speaking with us. So setting up a new business, especially in this COVID-19 era, can be a nightmare, as even existing entities struggle to stay afloat. For operators who have to shut down, they cannot overlook exploring other opportunities to be able to raise money to meet family responsibilities. JoyNews' Mahmoud Muhammad Nuruddin tells the story of a computer service center owner who has chartered a new course to make up for losses caused by the closure of schools.
It is 1 p.m. Thursday. 48-year-old owner of CompuNet Kidi Center, Edward Kwame Nkrumah, is busy at work.
It was just a daydream. In fact, selling food has become one of my passion. Yes, over the years, I've always had this urge to, sell or prepare food for the masses. And in fact, myself, I am into training. I have a computer school and then also have a kiddie school.
Edward began this food joint just after the 3-week partial lockdown due to COVID-19.
For about 2 months, you realize that there will be no money in your pockets. And then every money you also have in the bank will be spent. So I kept asking myself, what can I do to survive? Because as I stand here now, I don't know when there's going to be a lift on this public.
All right, the full report will air on Business Live. Thanks for watching The Marketplace.